What's going on, team? How are we all doing today? I got a topic today that may be a little bit on the controversial side. Some of the things I may say may get into some feels, if you will. So before we get into it, as always, I'm not trying to do anything here other than pass along some things that have helped me in the past that I've learned from mentors. So this is just out to help. Hopefully it helps you. If it does, pass it along to a fella or a fellette. Again, I still got to figure out what we'll work on that. Anyhow, how many of you, and you can raise your hands, I know I can't see you raise your hands, but I want you to raise them up anyway. How many of you have heard the term, politics don't belong in the workplace? Come on, I know you have. We've all heard these things before, right? And hopefully they don't, because that can be a real heated debate, if you will. So I want to talk about another thing that doesn't belong in the workplace, and that is opinions and feelings. Hear me out. Not saying that neither one of those things are important, but they don't belong. Reason being, because we all have different ones, both in opinions and feelings. And if you're leading off of those things, it's going to be hard to bring a team together. Now, before we get into this, if you are a leader or a manager in some of those type positions, or maybe you are a line level employee that has a manager or a leader or whatever, don't think that this is, aha, this is for my team, or aha, my manager needs to hear this. This is related to you. So take each of these topics and find out how they relate to you specifically, because no matter whether this is going up or down, all of these things are very important. So if you find yourself always in a position of there's just a negative culture, or it is, man, I wish that, my boss or my employer or whatever would just understand where I'm coming from, this video is for you. So what I want you to do is take some notes, whether you want to punch it into your phone, you're going to want to write some of these things down. I don't know how to do all the cool bibbidi-bobbop things with editing, so write it down, okay? So number one, the most important thing that you need to do when not thinking about bringing your opinions and your feelings into the workplace is vision. You absolutely have to have vision. So to correlate, just kind of give you guys where to go for on this. If you're a leader type position, you need to be making sure that whatever your vision is or the company vision is understood by all. And if you are someone who you're thinking about this in upward scale, like, you want to get into management or you're not in management, whatever, what is your vision and where you're trying to go, and do the people around you know what it is, and does it align with where the company is trying to go? So vision is extremely important. It is the number one thing that needs to be on everybody's mind and going in all the right directions, because if you're all in a boat and you're all rowing different ways, guess what? The boat's never going to get anywhere, right? So next thing, once again, you're going to need to write this down, is clear expectations, right? Meaning, if you don't know what expectations are required of you, or if you're not making sure it is known what expectations are required, there is a problem. A key indicator, if this is a thing, do you have some people up here, some people down here, or people all over across the board, or are we going on one true goal? Like, I'm a fan of sports. I know what you're thinking. Those that can't do, watch, right? There you go. So if I think of the old Nick Saban, Alabama, and I hate to use Alabama because I'm really a Boomer Sooner fan, but anyhow, if you go to the Nick Saban, Alabama, there was one team all going in one direction, and everybody had the same expectations. So if that is not in your workplace, start putting it in your workplace right now. And once again, those expectations need to line up with your vision. What do I mean? If your vision is something like, and hopefully it is something, I want to change the industry, but your expectations are make a lot of money, those don't necessarily line up. If you change the industry, likelihood that money is going to follow that. So if you think about what Apple did back when they created this whole, Apple phone thing situation, iPhone, that's what it's actually called. By the way, if you use an Android product, sorry for you. We'll pray for you. You'll get a better phone anyway. But anyway, so let's just say you got the iPhone product. That changed a lot of things. That didn't just change the industry, that changed like everything. Like Henry Ford back in the day when he created the assembly line, like that is world changing. Money is going to flow with it. So expectations, if they are money attached, probably inaccurate. It is better for it to be a byproduct of your bigger and better vision. So when they line up, your vision should not be money related, and your expectations of how to get to that vision should be one and the same. And I don't know why I slowed down so much when I said that. But anyways, next thing, there needs to be a process. Whether you have one person or a million people, if everybody's doing things in a different way, it's not going to go well. There needs to be a understood process, and not an understood process for each individual person. There needs to be a set standard process. And this is where it comes into opinions and feelings really, really heavily, because no matter what you do, sorry if I'm going to burst the bubble here, there is not a process that everybody's going to think all of this is absolute perfection. I'm sure there's some people inside Chick-fil-A that think saying my pleasure is weird. Doesn't matter. You're saying it if you're working at the Chick-fil-A, right? So, next, what is the goal? And this is a little bit different than the vision. A goal is more of a day-to-day thing, a month-to-month thing. Like, what is the thing we're going for today? Is it, this particular category where we're clearly failing our customers or failing our employees? What is your goal? That is, a lot of times people think of that as a bigger down the road thing. That is what your vision is. Your goal is going to be your micro details, your little things that you're going to have to do to get there. Like, for example, if we're talking in the world of football, the vision is score, get in the end zone. But maybe your goal on 3rd and 3 is to just get a first down. So what are your first down goals on an hour-to-hour basis, a day-to-day basis, a week-to-week, month-to-month, etc., etc.? Goals are a little bit shorter term. And this is very, very important. So many people set a big, gigantic goal that takes a massive amount of time to get there. Sometimes time is the enemy. We need those short little things, those little feel-goods, those little check in the box. Hey, we did this thing. Great. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. So goals aren't necessarily always a big down the road thing. You need day-to-day goals. Like for me in my industry right now, it's a rainy day. There's certain parts of our business that ain't getting done today. So we need to have a different goal for today. It's like, hey, we can't do X today, so let's get caught up on these things. So goals can move from time to time in a smaller format and moving accordingly. So lastly, what is the plan? So you got your vision, you got your expectations, you have your process, you have your goal. Now what is the plan to get there? Okay? And again, this goes in all directions. Managers, leaders, if your team doesn't know the plan, or hey, if your manager doesn't know the plan of the thing that you're about to do, plans are important and it needs to be discussed. Communication is absolutely key. And communication is very much intertwined in all of the things we're talking about. So you can go ahead and just make that a note for all of it. These things have to be communicated. They cannot be understood or assumed. They need to be spoken about, all right? You have to communicate each of these things up, down, sideways, often and frequently. Kind of if we go back to the football analogy, I know a lot of you like the football analogy. If football existed back in the days of Jesus, I feel like he would have used a lot of football analogies versus all the planting and the seeds and the things of that nature. So we're going to pretend we're going all football analogies. Now I've kind of forgotten where I was going with that. But nonetheless, if you're on a football team and you're the offense and you got your play called, but you get up on the line and you see a blitz coming, you have to communicate to everybody in the offense on the field what we need to do. You can't just sit there if you're the quarterback and go, hopefully my guy who's looking down over here right now sees the thing that's happening over here. Not gonna happen. clear communication. Don't be thinking, oh, that person should just know. Communicate it. Why would you want to hold up? Why would you want someone around you to potentially fail? It doesn't mean you talk down to the person like, hey, moron, did you know about that? No. Like, we're all communicating. We're all driving to the same point. If I'm the quarterback and I reach out to the guy out there and he's like, oh, yeah, bro, I got you on the blitz. I see you. Fine. Fantastic. But communication is key to be able to implement all of these things. So hopefully this helped you. Hopefully you found something in there and you thought, rather than getting upset or sore about it, you thought, I can improve there. Because I'm telling you right now, even though I came up with all these things, I can think of a category in every way with every person and everything that we do that we can improve on. No matter how good you are at something, it can be improved on. Back to the iPhone, right? Like, why do they update this thing all the time? There's improvements, okay? And improvements don't mean that it's broken. It just means it can get better, or you want to do something before it breaks. So communication is key to all of the things. Opinions and feelings are important, but they have to be left at home. What I mean by that, like, let's just go with an extreme example. If you got a coworker who's just experienced a big death in the family, you should probably have some talk and some communication about their feelings, but those feelings don't necessarily dictate what your process or your plan of that day is. Be a human being, but don't let them drive and get mixed into business. It's going to be a problem. So, hope this helped. We'll talk to you another time. Until the next one, have a great day.